Hello Mohawk! On this episode of MoCast, we focus on applied research here at the college and what it means for our students. We shine the spotlight on another one of our award-winning professors, and then we get a VIP tour of the McIntyre Performing Arts Center, and we break out the air guitars. So learning by doing has long been a hallmark of Mohawk College. I mean, it's part of our DNA. 3 years ago, we added a new strand to that DNA with applied research and the opening of IdeaWorks. To tell us more, we're joined by Ted Scott. Ted is Mohawk's Chief Innovation Officer. Ted, how are you?
I'm great, Jay.
All right, so let's get a snapshot of applied research over those past 3 years. So like number of students, number of projects, the amount of funding that you've pulled in.
So we've been really busy, Jay, for the last 3 years. We've found 3 centers. We founded 3 centers, and over 700 students have participated in applied research projects with industry, public sector, and private sector institutions. It's been fantastic, great learning experiences for our students, but also tremendous value to the employers and into our community.
Yeah, so you're earning, I mean, not just local recognition, but national, international acclaim.
Absolutely, and it speaks to the depth of our research activity in terms of how much technical rigor and expertise we've developed here at the college. So that's translated into funding, and we've received over $7.5 million in funding in a really short time. We're really proud of that.
You mentioned that Mohawk College, we have 3 centers of research excellence. What are those centers?
So the first one is MEDIC. That stands for the Mobile and E-Health Development Innovation Center.
Which is where we are right now.
Exactly. And the second one is our Smart Grid Innovation Center. And the third one will be our Additive Manufacturing Resource Center. Now, all 3 of those centers came out of the initial concept, which we called IdeaWorks. IdeaWorks is really speaking to our roots as a college about taking ideas and actually implementing them and doing them. So the strength of our ability to do things.
Okay, so when you say we've had more than 700 students involved in these projects, what does that look like? Are students doing it as part of their classwork, or are they coming to IdeaWorks outside of class time?
So we have a pipeline, Jay, and it involves different ways of participating. The biggest and broadest part of the pipeline is in-class projects where students will work in teams within class structures. Yeah. But we have funded staff co-op positions that we use for deep dives on the technology. And those are usually pairs of students, or sometimes 3 students paired up with a staff member or faculty member, and then in articulation with a partner.
So what's been the response from the students? So like you've said, you've had more than 700 students come through work on projects. What's been their sort of overall reaction to working on applied research at Mohawk?
Well, day to day, they love the opportunity to work on teams, but also to work on very new cutting edge things, learn new skills. Yeah. But after they leave, they're even happier because they've got new connections with the industry and typically multiple opportunities or offers for employment. So it's just the opportunity for students to really drive themselves and then create really exciting career opportunities.
Yeah, we set them up well for future success. So of all the projects that we've worked on, is there 1 or 2 that have stood out for you?
Oh, there's so many, but I would say one of the bigger ones that I really enjoyed participating in was a global e-health project and mobility in South Africa. We partnered with the university down there, University KwaZulu-Natal, and a related not-for-profit entity, and they transferred our base technology into their lab, and now they're actually standing up those technologies in Rwanda and a bunch of other African countries, and it's really, cool. Really gratifying for that to have that experience.
Okay, so here we are at the Institute for Applied Health Sciences with one of our latest award-winning profs, Wendy Lawson. Wendy, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks very much, Jay.
Okay, what award did you win, Wendy?
I won an award called the College Sector Educators Award from the Society for Teaching and Learning in Higher Education.
Fantastic. Now, of all the college professors across Canada, how many profs received this award this year?
I believe it was 5.
You are correct. There's only 5. One of the things that it talked about in the award submission was your teaching philosophy. Can you sum that up for us?
I think they asked me this question as well during the award submission process, and I think basically what it boiled down to was about bringing opportunities in, both to my colleagues and to my students. So I've always tried to lead by example. Instead of just talking about doing things, I try to go out and do them. And so my involvement in the profession and my involvement in lecturing throughout Canada has brought a lot of opportunities to my student. And I think that the most that I've gotten out of it has been seeing my students and my peers to be able to achieve great things.
Right. So one of the, and so that's something that really came out in the award write-up that they did about you, is your involvement not just inside the college, like your passion for teaching, but your involvement outside. Can you sort of summarize what you do outside the college?
Yeah, definitely. I think I was really fortunate to find this career opportunity because it's allowed me to bring all of the things that I'm really passionate about into one role. I've always been incredibly passionate about my profession, which is sonography, and I've always been very involved in my profession at a national and provincial level. Teaching has allowed me to bring a lot of that professionalism into the classroom and a lot of the opportunities that exist in the profession into the classroom. My involvement has largely been on professional boards. The national board representing sonographers in Canada was called the Canadian Society of Diagnostic Medical Sonographers, has just undergone a merge and a new name to Sonography Canada. I've been on the board of directors of that organization since 2006 and the president of that organization for the past 3 years.
All right. Where do you find the time?
Well, finding the time is challenging. I think that I get the motivation, though, out of all of the things that I've been able to accomplish in the role. I've seen a tremendous amount of change, and I feel like I've been able to be a part of that change. I've brought people and knowledge and opportunities into Mohawk College that I don't think would have otherwise been here. And I've seen my students and my colleagues achieve some really cool things. I'd like to think that it allows me an opportunity to be a better mentor. And that's important to me. I'm myself alumni of Mohawk College, and I had great teachers and great mentors here, and I like to sort of pay that forward.
So because Wendy is very modest, we had to bring in Lori Koziol to sing her praises. Lori, you are Associate Dean of?
Health Sciences, specifically Medical Radiation Sciences and Allied Health.
Okay, so tell us a bit about Wendy. Why is she deserving of a national award?
Wendy is really the epitome of what we want our graduates to be, what we want health science professionals to be. She's committed to her students. She is a fabulous colleague, a wonderful peer to her fellow faculty. She contributes to the profession on a national level. She really leads by example. That's what she does. She brings passion, enthusiasm, just a true professional.
Hey, so I have a dream, and this week we're going to go center stage at the McIntyre Performing Arts Centre to see if Troy Heath can help me make that dream a reality. So let's head on inside. Okay, so here we are, center stage at the McIntyre Performing Arts Centre with Troy Heath. Troy, how are you?
I'm very well. Yourself?
Never better. Your title, Troy?
Executive Director of Business Development and Retail.
Okay, and does it also involve doing jazz hands on the McIntyre Performing Arts Centre?
Once a year. That's it. That's all I limit it to.
Are we going to get that today, or is that time has passed? Okay. So, one of the best kept secrets of the college, the McIntyre Performing Arts Centre. For folks who've never set foot in here, can you give us sort of an overview of what they can expect when they're here?
Sure. It's a 1,029-seat performing arts center. We host multiple events throughout the year, both internal and external. In fact, last year, for the calendar year, we had 266 bookings out of 365 days, and it was split pretty evenly between internal and external bookings.
Cool. So it's not many dark days here at the McIntyre Performing Arts Centre.
Not at all. And when we are dark, we're preparing for the next one.
Okay. So cost to rent this space, what would that be?
It varies. Internal is free, obviously, so if we have student groups, remembrance days, ceremonies, those kinds of events are free of charge. Yep. For external clients, there's a rate sheet that applies depending on the size of the event.
Okay, and where do those revenues go?
The revenues go into the ancillary revenue for the college, which ultimately rolls into general operating revenue, which supports the expansion and growth of the college long term.
Troy, so I have sat in these seats for years and years. I would love, can we get a behind the scenes tour?
For sure. Okay. You want to start stage right?
Stage right, which would be that way, right?
Correct.
Okay, let's do it. Troy, spiral staircase. It's probably the coolest staircase here at the Fennel campus.
Couldn't agree more.
Where are we now?
Right now we're in the Fly Gallery.
Okay, it kind of feels like Phantom of the Opera kind of ish.
It does.
What do we do up here?
This is what we use to control all the set pieces. So if there's moving pieces in regards to walls or set pieces that need to be raised or lowered during a performance, this is where it all happens.
So there's actually people up here when there's a performance going on, working the ropes.
Literally pulling levers, pulling ropes.
Cool. All right, so hey, another cool spot. Like we were right above the stage. What happens here?
This is referred to as the grid. This is where the fly system that we talked about.
We are on the grid.
We are on the grid, not off the grid, on the grid.
On the grid.
This is where the fly system actually connects up to all the piping above the stage to control all the props on stage.
Cool. Can we play it like a harp?
You can. I don't know what kind of sound you get, and I'll probably be the only one that could reach it.
Okay, so we have just gone up to the very top of the crazy spiral staircase. Where are we, Troy?
We're in the catwalk system directly above the 1,029 seats of the McIntyre Performing Arts Center.
Okay, so how high off the ground would we be in this space?
Give or take about 60 feet.
Okay, so we need to stay on the catwalk.
If you don't, it's a long way down.
Okay, that would be quite the performance. How many people actually get to come up to this space?
We only have 2 people that are authorized to come up here. Jeff and Anthony are full-time theater techs.
Okay, and what are they doing when they come up here?
They come up here to change the stage lighting. If a house light burns out, they have to come up here and slap on a safety harness so they can replace the bulbs.
Okay, I think this space probably has not changed at all since it was first built. When was the McIntyre Performing Arts Center actually constructed?
It was constructed as part of the original construction of the college back in 1967.
Cool. So where else can we check out?
You want to go down and see the green room?
Are there M&Ms sorted by color in bowls?
There can be. Believe it or not, we do get riders for some of our major concerts, and there are things like a specific kind of water, specific kind of fruit, and specific kind of granola bars, and we live up to those riders each and every time.
Okay, so I'm low maintenance, but let's go down and check it out.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here we are. This is like a HomeSense showroom. This is pretty cool. Where are we?
We're in the VIP green room. This is where all the major performers come to hang out before or after the show to relax.
Okay, do they eat in this space?
We bring down catered food for them. There's a small fridge over there. This is where they do whatever they do before they go on stage.
That's cool. So we actually just came from the highest point for the Performing Arts Center. Where is this? Is this the lowest point?
This is the lowest point of the McIntyre, and I would probably think it's one of the lower points on campus.
Okay, so who has sat on the couch that we are sitting on now?
You're sitting in the space that people like Michael Burgess, Clara Hughes, Jimmy Vaughn, Gian Gomeshi, and a whole bunch more.
Really?
Yep.
And now the two of us.
Now the two of us.
We're saying how many seats again? 1,000?
1,029.
Okay, so how does that stack up to other venues here in the Greater Toronto Hamilton area?
We think we're perfectly situated. We have smaller theaters and performing arts centers between 500 and 700 seats, much larger ones up to 5,000, but we're the only 1,000-seat performing arts center in the area.
Okay, and so you've been with the college now how many years?
3 years.
Okay, in those 3 years, what's been the best act that you have seen here at the McIntyre Performing Arts Center?
Far and away our students at Convocation. The McIntyre is a perfect backdrop for the graduation ceremonies of the college. We have thousands of kids crossing the stage every semester, and I think that's our true calling.
And that's the whole reason why we're here.
Absolutely. And you know what? When parents come in here and see this and their kids walking across stage, this is the perfect backdrop, and it makes for a great day.
So when you're on the center stage there, the McIntyre Performing Arts Center, your fate is in this man's hands. Anthony Cashella. How are you, Anthony?
I'm very well, Jay. How are you?
Excellent. Hey, this has been a great tour, sort of behind the scenes, places I've never been. What's your job here?
I'm a theater technician, so I'm responsible for all the internal and external events that happen in the theater. There's a two-man team of Jeff and I, and we take care of everything in the theater at these four walls.
Excellent. So people should treat you very well.
I hope so.
Okay, well, what do you do as a tech?
Well, I'm responsible for the sound and lighting systems, the general maintenance and upkeep, and the operations during shows.
Now, are you the guy who goes way up there on the catwalks and changes the lights?
Yes, sometimes we have to do that.
I've been here 5 years, working the controls. What do you enjoy most about working at the McIntyre Performing Arts Center?
I enjoy working students' orientations when they first arrive at the college and seeing them successfully graduate at convocation as they walk across the stage.
Yeah, so you're like one of the few people who actually see our students on their first day, and you get to see them on their last day. So that's pretty cool. I want to thank you and Troy for the tour. Been to places I have never been, which is really awesome. So thank you.